Hopefully we can hear everything. Hopefully. Right. I suppose we can get started. Right, hello everybody, welcome to game 3D1. We've got, instead of Terra, who's stuck in traffic, we've got Paulina subbing in for Terra, joined by Soren Johnson, game developer for Offworld, Zorbaz, and Gameslayer. So it should be quite an interesting game. Fingers crossed. I'm not sure who's going to have the upper hand here, but the late summer Paulina, certainly she's a very good player. So maybe she'd be the favourite. And my chair's really squeaky. It doesn't look too promising, does it? You have to restart this one. Oh no, here it is. Everybody here. Everybody's there. Excellent. Right, all our players are safely arrived. Let's have a quick look at the map. As elite, hopefully somebody go elite, that'd be nice to see. But we've got a nomad, a scientist, and a scavenger. Scavenger initially doesn't look too great. Perhaps you could do something with this one. Silicon, the nuke's available, so maybe as a nomad that would be maybe a good spot. Maybe drop scientific, sort of somewhere there. Could easily go elite if you wanted to. I'd quite like to see that actually. Somebody crash elite into here, have the silicon, grab some iron. Although $10 iron, probably don't need it. Aluminium cheap as well.
Scientific colony founded.
There we go. Soren decides he is going to have the scientific spots. Didn't pay too much debt for it. 20k debt, so not too bad. Gameslayer, excellent. Elite, not a bad spot. Gonna make a little bit of money off the silicon. Silicon started slightly high. And Paulina the scavenger is first to upgrade. Choosing to go in for the water and the silicon and just import some carbon. Which is going to be an interesting move, I think. Zorbaz deciding to go for a elite one as well. And he indeed does snap up that high silicon. Gameslayer working on a medium and a low.
Scientific colony expanded.
Soren, it seems, second to upgrade.
The black market is online.
Water standing rather high. Food high as well. Glass reasonably cheap, so I can imagine we'll see some farms out of Soren. And he's choosing aluminium and one claim left, which, yeah, goes into some water there. Nope, decides there are claims on the market, so. Well, and he's decided he's splitting his water. Interesting strategy. I'd have thought maybe you'd have two together, get the adjacency bonus. Oh, dear me, I've been talking about.
The black market is online.
Have a look at Soren, what he's got. He's got some iron, some steel in the bank.
Has been upgraded.
Gonna move. There we go. 3 claims. Obviously bought a claim from the black market. And Zorbaz steals the remaining mortar tiles. I think Soren's got enough. He's got enough for now, but that's going to be inconvenient. Very inconvenient. Zorbaz. Not sure taking 2 water so early on as an elite is the best move I've seen. I think water's quickly going to reduce in price. I know Soren's got a water pump up there, so not sure about that move, but we'll see how it works out. Paulina moved in a couple of farms. HQ level 3 upgrade for her if she wants it, which I imagine she will take reasonably soon.
Scientific colony expanded.
Certainly, I would imagine that she'll move into some glass shortly, and maybe some power. It's shipping quite a lot of, especially carbon, shipping a lot of carbon in. Aluminium's quite long, so you can imagine fuel's going to raise quite a bit. Let's have a quick look at Game Slayer. We haven't
The
really
black
seen much of
market
Game
is
Slayer.
online.
It's a bit of water. Potentially his geothermal has been stolen by Soren. Game Slayer moving into a little bit more iron. He can rotate those if he wants. He's going to have to... He has got some power up, excellent. Got a couple of solar panels going up there. I mean, the price of power really rapidly increasing. And auction a claim. Soren's got his little triangle of food going up, which will be very nice. There are EMPs available, so somebody may take offence to that. There's a couple of remote glass as well. You can see magnetic storms cheap at 2,000 would be a useful thing to have if those glass do start flying through the air. Polina decided she prefers to claim 24k. It's a little bit on the high side considering there's claims on the market, but hopefully she'll just get some quarries up, so maybe we'll see some power come out for her in a minute. Indeed, she is moving over to geothermal vents. So Soren EMP'd out, sadly. Scientists no longer have that 50% bonus. And Game Slayer, for a change, getting into some serious amounts of power, which seems to be uncontested at the moment. Although Polina does have a second geothermal, so 2 geothermals going up, and 1 is going. Game Slayer, possibly a little way off making power money. He's not going to make power money just yet, as it's
The
not
black
time.
market is online.
Sorbaz asked to upgrade to HQ3,
Pirates. I hate those filthy bandits.
and we see the pirates
The
come
black
down
market is
from Game
online.
Slayer. Excellent move there. Not 100% sure that that's the best place for them. I'd have perhaps moved them over, maybe to here or something. I don't know, I just... Soren gets another claim, and all he has to do is plonk down another glass factory and those pirates are done. Yet, one little space away and you haven't got the risk of that. Soren reasonably sensibly decides to go into silica and just get rid of the pirates, but pretty sure those pirates will be back. There's no holograms on the market, so any patent lab that goes down is going to be visible to the other players, and there's a few tools we could see, mutinies especially. So anybody who puts up an unprotected patent lab, I would imagine that's going to get hit. Sorbaz sadly gets his crucial adjacency wind turbine taken away from him by Game Slayer. Game Slayer are obviously very keen to control the power market.
Has been upgraded.
He is actually making money from power. And Game Slayer here, the only player, well, apart from Polina, whose 2 geothermals are doing excellent work. Game Slayer not in masses of debt, which is always good to see.
Let the bidding begin.
Teleportation could be useful for a number of players, Polina especially. I kind of feel Sorbaz is overpaid for that. Let's have a look, see if he's shipping in massive amounts. Wow. Surprised we saw that second bid. I think 32, I mean... Can't see that he's going to make a huge amount of use of it. As an elite, you can pick up teleportation later on, whatever, you just license it. So I think that was probably 32k he didn't need to spend, and his debt's slightly worrying now, 102. Wouldn't be surprised to see Sorbaz spiral out. That's not going to help. Not going to help at all. Polina with a rather nice stockpile of cash. Potentially she could have a pop. I mean, Soren looks weak at the moment. He doesn't seem... and Game Slayer jumping on board as well. I think, unfortunately, we're going to say goodbye to Mr. Soren Johnson.
We would be so patents lab is constructed. Let's get our science on.
Ganged up on would be the phrase to use there. I mean, Polina buying in the majority of shares, they're 4 to Game Slayer's 2. I guess they saw that scientist as a real threat, which potentially he was a threat, but I don't know. Unfortunate for Soren, early bath. Paulina looking dominant at the moment now, Game Slayer. But saying that, the longer it goes on for Game Slayer, the better the chances. I mean, nobody is going to bet against an elite at HQ5 versus a scavenger.
An elite HQ has been upgraded.
The longer Game Slayer can push this game, the more chance that he's got of winning it. Picks up Superconductor there, which I think is a pretty excellent pickup. A lot of power's gone now, but he's going to have a nice little boost off it anyway. Power's going to be pretty much in the toilet. Paulina's got 2 geotherms. And solar panels. Well, there we go, that's the price of power gone, so it's going to be hard for Zorbaz to come back with the amount of debt he's in, and it's going to be even harder to come back when Paulina buys him out. She is obviously making a lot of cash at the moment, hence delaying the upgrade to HQ level 5 in favour of getting aggressive in the stock market, which I'd very much like to see that. I think it's a good example of how you need to play a scavenger.
Strike.
Slow down, strike up for bids. I think the Game Slayer pretty much needs to respond to Paulina somehow in the black market, because it's kind of ignored Paulina. I think the black market I've seen abused has been used against the other players, but now they're at the game, you really need to start concentrating everything on the scavenger. Throw the kitchen sink. Pretty sure these solar panels are going to need to get rotated like now.
Scientific colony expanded.
Not 100% sure what he could expand into. Possibly more reactors, maybe food. I guess these chem refineries come out, which not bad. Each building 77, although reactors would apparently be a better move for him according to the X key. But those chemical refineries are going to support his pleasure dome, which not the most generous pleasure dome I've ever seen. 113 net, 292 gross. Pretty poor really, but there we go. It should get better over time. Paulina, with all her focus really is into life support resources. She's got plenty of water coming in, a couple of chem labs. So
The black market is online.
immediately takes the upgrade to HQ5 when she's able. With 5 claims to dispose of as she sees fits. So we got a couple of glass kilns coming down, extra water. Possibly an advanced building. I'm not sure whether we'll see a hacker array or optimizations, but whatever she does, I think it's going to be a good idea to get it done pretty quickly. Game Slayer going into some steel. Obviously bought up a lot of steel as he wasn't producing it in favour of the electrolysis reactors, which were more profitable at the time. Off-world. Well, O2's pretty good launch. O2 is always a difficult launch though. I mean, water looks about the best launch at the moment. Fuel's looking attractive, but
I hate those filthy bandits.
price of fuel.
An elite HQ has been upgraded.
Finally, as Zorbaz, a subsidiary, gets to HQ5, and I'm not seeing many buildings around. A lot of it spread out. A lot of it really spread out.
Industrial espionage agent
Quite
seeks
odd.
Martian opportunities.
So Paulina choosing to get a little bit aggressive, moving into Game Slayer. Gonna make Game Slayer defend himself. Gonna be interesting to see if Game Slayer is able to overcome the scavenger. Paulina's got a pretty solid lead. I mean, mainly share price is the biggest hurdle I think Game Slayer faces. I mean, he's possibly not going to profit a huge amount in life support. Paulina possibly has got that all tied up, but Certainly some chems looking good for him. Got carbon scrubbing on the way. I don't know. Paulina doesn't need a huge amount of money to be buying out Game Slayer. I mean, 290 will be the last
The
buy.
black market is online.
350, so she doesn't need a massive amount of money to clean this game up. Game Slayer, of course, got a pile of cash, so he's not going to make it easy for her by any means. But I think Game Slayer not getting into an optimization center. I really think he needs to get into an optimization center pretty quick. Probably 2 of them. I mean, it's very difficult for him to out-earn Paulina unless he gets a huge amount of optimizations down. It's got absolutely none.
The
Paulina,
black
though,
market is online.
deciding hacking is going to be the way to go. Got a food shortage on the way. Glass just not profitable at the moment. Food's pretty damn profitable. 450 from those 3 tiles. 180 coming from these guys. And about $100 there. Oh no, 150. There's 3 chem plants. So Paulina's still making reasonably good money. Gabe Slayer not got a lot of cash. Really not got a lot of shares, but he's now snapping up some of Soren. Paulina choosing to grab a little bit of Zorbaz. So that's a little bit better, but
The black market is
Gabe Slayer
online.
are back in the power. Excellent. Gabe Slayer with 120k worth of debt, but is paying some of that off with his solar panels, about 1,000 a second, but he's sure he'd prefer those tiles to be doing something else. Making money, making cash rather than paying debt. We'll have to see. Game Slayer has seen the need to get a
You
hacker
can't
array,
let them get this. Bid now before it's too late.
which is excellent, and decided electronics is the thing for him. I mean, really, food, you see, is a lot more profitable. It's almost three times as profitable. And with the hacks coming down, a little bit more food. Game Slayer's not in food at all. Why he's gone for
New
the
land is available for
electronics,
auction.
I don't know. Paulina hacking up food suggests that he should at least have some kind of counter to it. And when his hacker array is online, he will have a counter, but I prefer to see those as food, to be perfectly honest. Maybe he's a little bit worried about Paulina spiking the water price, but I think Zorbaz, well, even Zorbaz sub is in a load of food.
Neutral.
That's pretty profitable food. Obviously it's inflated. I mean, Paulina is holding the price of food up pretty significantly, but not maybe only $150. Yeah, there we go. 300. Still at a great base price for food. I mean, GameStar should be really all over it. Multiple. Instead he's hacking it down. I much prefer to see. Can I have some food now? Perhaps not.
Our hackers have compromised.
Paulina
the
about
trading
45% of the
service.
way to Game Slayer.
Price manipulation begins shortly.
Game Slayer, well, kind of an uphill battle for him. I can't really see that it's going anywhere except for Paulina.
The black market is online.
Let's have a look. Game Slayer, Zorbaz, Son Johnson, all got some pleasure names down. Obviously 2 of those are subs. Not
Our
doing too
hackers
badly.
have compromised the trading servers. Price
Game Slayer there with
manipulation
virtual
begins shortly.
reality. No, scrubbing, superconductor. Scientist now, a couple of off-world markets. Food launches
Our
are
hackers have compromised the trading servers.
reasonably
Price
good.
manipulation begins shortly.
And there we go, Game Slayer bought out. Congratulations, Paulina. scavenger hiding up there in the corner. Undoubtedly the way to go in this particular game. Yeah, I can kind of sympathise with Game Slayer. It's very difficult when two early subs go to the other player. I think the reason they went was Paulina was earning too much. The cash flow was too good. I don't know. I really don't know how they died so easily. Bad timing, I think, probably is the culprit. I mean, yeah, Paulina's kind of right. It's careless upgrading. You don't expect to be bought out when you go from HQ3 to 4. I mean, I did it myself the other day. Very easy. Somebody's got the money. They'll come and snap you up. Zorbaz, understandable, he got bought out. HQ3, he hadn't got himself arranged yet, hadn't got enough claims next to his base to make money. He was still bringing in resources with his claims, so it's understandable he got bought out, but Soren, I think, was just a bit unfortunate. Took his eye off the ball, upgraded without realising that people had a ton of money. Just ready to pick him up, but there we go. Let's have a quick look at charts and graphs. Paulina making most of her money in food. Game Slayer did really well with power. Still, it was quite noticeable that when he rotated out of power, very quickly the power price crept back up. Zorbaz's biggest money maker was iron. Not a situation you ever really want to see. Yeah. Wow. Soren, don't think he really didn't get going. Paulina had the money. Soren made a misstep in upgrading. Paulina snaps up Soren. Game Slayer, unfortunately being an elite, didn't really have an easy, quick counter to it because elites are slow. So yeah, Paulina got the upper hand and then capitalised on it really well. Yeah, I mean, the difference in stock price is just massive. Once you get to that level, it's so much difficult, so much harder for the other player to overcome the stock value, let alone the money or potential money that could be coming in from subs. I don't think there was a huge amount of sub income. Dividend revenue, 350k, pretty damn decent considering the length of the game. I bet that dividend made a difference. Paulina just turning over a lot more money compared to Game Slayer. Black market. Ashes rival. Paulina bullied Game Slayer quite badly. I think we can see that through those 3 AMPs. Only a couple of claims bought. Game Slayer bought a claim. Soren bought 2 claims. Soren making good use of the claims, even though he's in the game the shortest. A little bit surprised Paulina didn't buy a few more claims, but used the black market to good advantage. So, okay, I think that probably wraps that one up. If you'll excuse me for a minute, I'm just gonna slap some seeds down for the next games. I'll be back in a couple of minutes.